Hi, I'm Lisa Costa-Bir and we're here at the 8th Annual NIIM Symposium 2023, Melbourne. I'm joined by Chris Ouizeman, CEO from NIIM. Welcome to FX Medicine, Chris.
Thank you, it's good to be here.
Now tell us about NIIM and what you guys do, your values.
Sure. NIIM's a wonderful organisation. It's a not-for-profit, for-purpose charity, but it's set up with a integrative medical clinic, GP clinic. We also have a natural medicine dispensary. We have a number of therapies, which I can talk about in a moment, and we have the most amazing research department. So it's quite an institute.
Tell me about the therapies and definitely tell me about the research.
Sure. So being an integrative practice, the organisation takes the whole human being into consideration. And some of the therapies that we have include an IV therapy clinic. So we do a number of different IV treatments, which was ideal during COVID. We also have a hyperbaric oxygen therapy unit. In fact, we have two machines, both Peri machines, so top of the range, capable of 3 atmospheres. So we use that as a combination therapy quite often.
Can you tell us more about the hyperbaric, because I don't know much about those.
Sure, by all means. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy really is designed to put human beings under a level of pressure. So normally it's about 2.1, 2.2 atmospheres. From a therapeutic perspective, anything over 1.9 atmospheres is considered to have therapeutic benefit. And the patients get inserted into the units, and then they're provided with pure oxygen to breathe. And there's a number of different benefits for that. It helps with healing, as an example. It also improves and increases the efficacy of certain other treatments. So as a combination, it has almost a turbocharging effect. So the units are very similar. If you can, imagine people that go diving and they get the bends, obviously, and they get put into hyperbaric units. They're tandems, whereas we have singular units, but the concept is pretty much the same.
So what sort of patients or clients would use that sort of therapy?
Well, those that have sustained injuries, so it could be that they're now in recovery. Those that have had, it's as a post-operational therapy, it's quite useful. Individuals that have had cognitive decline can benefit from that. And what we tend to find is when you use it in, actually oncology patients as well. It's in fact the majority of the patients that come through. I'd say probably 70% or 80% have actually got cancer, so it's an oncology treatment. It's quite beneficial. And then it also helps performance. So for potential athletes. In fact, I believe that some of the AFL codes have got their own hyperbaric units. But I'd like to say that ours is probably one of the most powerful on the market.
Fantastic. Now tell us about some of the research you guys are doing.
Fantastic. Great question. I was hoping you were going to ask me that. So we've got a number of different effectively research projects on the go at the moment. So one of them is around cognitive decline. So we're using a helmet, if you will, that uses broad spectrum infrared, and it's purpose-built. And what we do is we have people that are in early stages of dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease. We basically provide them with a protocol that's been developed specifically by NIIM. And it's designed to really provide, as I said, a broad-spectrum infrared treatment to the brain. We then use the hyperbaric units as a complementary therapy. And the concept behind it is that we're trying to look at redressing the cellular degradation, and we're looking at cellular regrowth effectively. And any damage that's been done to the synapses and so forth. The theory is that this therapy can potentially address some of those decline issues. So that's the cognitive decline project. We've also got an amazing system which looks at circulating tumour cells. We have a filter, which is a vacuum, which is processed through a vacuum type system. The filters isolate certain cells. We then treat those cells with a marker using microscopy. We can then identify circulating tumour cells and actually identify whether they're breast, ovarian, prostate, and identify really at the very, very early stage whether somebody is likely to potentially develop the cancer. And so that's quite fascinating. There's a further project which is linked to the CTC, which is circulating tumour cell technology, which looks specifically at prostate and using the light beds. We also have a light bed, I forgot to mention, which is a broad spectrum technology. And using the light bed, we obviously look to try and eradicate the circulating tumour cells by having an oral preparation that's derived through algae, which is glucose-rich, which cancer cells are attracted to, and then using the light bed therapy we use that to try and destroy those cells because obviously they're chlorophyll cells, so they're very, very light sensitive, and as a consequence, that intense light tends to destroy them. We also have a research project whereby we can identify pathogens using the same filter as the circulating tumour cells, and that's quite broad spectrum and includes mould. So people that are suffering from long-term conditions, nothing seems to be working, they're frustrated. Quite often it's because of undetected pathogens. So by using the this particular filtering system, we can actually identify root cause. And that's what integrative medicine is about. It's really about identifying root cause. It's not about presenting with a particular problem and saying, well, we'll give you a cream or a pill to fix that. It's about saying, well, what's caused it in the first place? What are the comorbidities? What are the primary conditions that if we address will effectively fix everything else?
Fantastic. Wow. Now, you've been at the conference all weekend. Have you had a standout, anything that has really resonated with you?
Absolutely. Every presentation.
I knew you were going to say that. No favourites.
I can't discriminate. They were all brilliant.
Fantastic. Now, is there anything else we need to know about NIIM?
Look, I think it's good to remind people that whilst NIIM operates a very, very successful integrative medicine practice with GPs, world class, I would have to say. Our founder, Avni Sally, is arguably Professor Sally is the founder, if you will, the father of integrative medicine in this country, and is globally recognised for his work. But we operate this centre of excellence. It's the epicentre of all things integrative medicine here at NIIM. But despite that, despite all of our therapies, we are still a not-for-profit, and we rely upon donations, and we rely upon the generosity of philanthropists and so forth to help us to fund the projects that we run in order to be able to save human lives. And it does come down to that. It's about looking at current situations, thinking differently about them, getting to the root cause, developing research programs that are designed to really properly diagnose, properly treat, and the utopia is to actually eradicate those conditions. And we can only do that with funding and the support from the population.
Definitely. And so if anyone wants to fund, where can they do that?
It's a great question. They can go to our website, and there is a donation button on the website, and they can educate themselves on everything that we're doing. The research area of the website is particularly interesting because it will identify the things that we've done, the things that we're doing, and the things that we're planning to do. So, go straight to our website and you'll be well served.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for the time.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Don't forget to check out our socials and visit our website for great clinical resources, including infographics, articles, and of course our podcast. I'm Lisa Costa-Bir. We'll see you next time.